A strong team from the United States Government's Alumni Association is here at MOMAS Electrical Engineering Company.
Good morning, good to see you. How are you today? Very good. Well done.
For critical recognition of its impact on Nigeria and especially the power sector by means of provision of prepaid meters and more to the public. First off was an introduction by the visiting team.
I am President of the United States Government Exchange Alumni Association of Nigeria.
This was soon followed by the national anthem in honor of one man who steers the saddle of what many say is a pride of Nigeria, one which must be supported.
With reflection of Nigeria's context, and eventually we find ourselves holding on to the database of the prepaid meter concept, and that's what led to where we are today.
The visit soon takes shape as the founder of MOMAS Group explains the genesis of the company to its current state.
Our mission school should start from conducting across the country empowerment scheme. I wrote to all the governors of the state that nominate some number of your indigenous. Let them come and be trained. Federal government wants to intervene in the military. They want to spend some few billions in the military. And we don't have sufficient manpower to install the meter in the houses. Let us train on pro bono for all of you, give you certification, kit you. We are not just training, we will train you, we will kit you. We won't believe that some people want us to take them to send free something. I mean, it's so bad that the way we take things in the country, we don't do things to develop the nation. We want to develop individuals. And it's no work. Until we change the narrative to say, the nation first. We know that our nation has failed, but we need to start fighting that the position to make our nation more responsible. It is when a nation is responsible that everybody will not get loyal to the nation, and these are things that we need to do. We will keep empowering the youth. In the next 2 weeks, we are conducting another free training which has to do with PCB application. We're talking about artificial intelligence. Tomorrow is artificial intelligence. Tomorrow is robots. Because very soon, there is a knowledge that is coming out that we won't need so much of a human. And if you look at what the chemical world, the war is no longer going to be a physical war again. It's not going to be missile war. It's not going to be a gaseous war. You don't sleep and you don't wake up again. We have seen it happening. COVID is a typical example. They will just pollute the air. Anywhere they don't want people to live, they will just pollute the air. So we need to prepare for that. So artificial intelligence will tell you beforehand that look, there is an invasion of gas that is coming within this environment. Prepare yourself, go and kit yourself. That's what artificial intelligence will do, because there are radar sensors that will be everywhere. It's all electronics. They are all sensors. So if we don't start preparing our youth to learn about designing of electronics, because electronics is future. If I want to replicate any one of you, it's electronics. We just put other mechanical part of it. But what's going to do the control? It's electronics. So we want to start establishing that faculty so that a lot of people will know how to design, and we can be very useful tools. There was a time India was practically doing their call center for the whole United States. We can be the household of electronic design, designing for the whole world. It's possible. So let's convert this our population growth to strength. Train all our youth to be able to be useful to the global community. I want to appreciate your recognition. I never knew that people are looking at what we are doing. So it's a task over myself. I will do more and I'll keep doing it. We have a lot to show you in the process of going through the facility. You'll be able to see so many other things. In the process of optimizing our capability, we're able to even set up another company that interfaces with defense. Today we are producing ballistic element and bulletproof and some other things. Recently they just engaged us in designing of rocket. With these are things that we are going to see in the process of going through the facility. And Part of the people who have encouraged us when we were trying to go into ballistics, the Air Vice Marshal Olabisi, when he was AOC logistic, he came here, he saw it, he said, look, you guys come and shoot this thing and test for the protection. And if you miss the Nigerian standard and global standard, why can't we buy it? And they start buying it, and that's what I have today. And these are things we are trying to do.
The response was swift and equally enchanting from the leader of the delegation of the United States Government Exchange Alumni Association.
Our coming here today is a recognition of the fact that MOMAS is a dependable partner. MOMAS is a company that Nigeria should call and hold very dearly. MOMAS is a company that Africa, West African and African countries should come to make consultations with when it comes to security, when it comes to energy, when it comes to power. In the last few years, we have, because of what we do, because we are a collection of so many professionals doing their various things in various fields. So when we meet somebody or people or organizations or agencies doing things to also transform the society, we begin to attract. And that was what we saw in MOMAS. MOMAS Group has, I was privileged sometime to be in one of the trainings they did here for people across the entire states in the Federation for free. And we were baffled. How do we have this kind of training, the magnitude of this kind of training, people coming from all the states in the Federation here in this place, and they were trained batch by batch, region by region, here in this place. And they came in free of charge, they were fed free of charge, they were accommodated free of charge, and when they were going, they were given stipends, and they were left. No, not just that, they were kitted. After they were trained, they were given kits. So if you're going back home, it's not just going to go and buy your own equipment. They're giving you equipment already. So it was mind-boggling to understand that there are organizations like that still in Nigeria that are not government agencies contributing to the transformation of society. And we felt that we need to partner with this kind of an organization so that the way we work and we attract international organizations to Nigeria through our programs, we can also partner with MOMAS in that regard so that we can also attract international organizations as well to Nigeria, especially in the area of what they do. I think MOMAS has reached a level where government can 100% rely on them for security, for defense, and for other things as well. And I am glad that although we may look young when it comes to age, but we are privileged, we are a collection of the privileged people that have access to anybody at all that you can imagine and think about. So through that, we want to use this opportunity to assure MOMAS that using our network and connection, we will try to see how we can be a positive rub-off for MOMAS in some of the projects that you do. We know that, like the chairman has mentioned, when it comes to youth, youth are the power of the nation. Youth are the energy of the nation. Just like we all rely on energy, power, and all of that. That is the youth in all of us. If we allow the power and the energy of the youth to be on the streets, you cannot guide it. It's like air. Whatever happens, wherever it goes, and whatever it hits, whatever impact it creates, leave it like that. But if you don't guide them by ensuring that they are properly skilled, they are properly trained, they are properly mentored into for a certain objective, then we might be creating a tomorrow for Nigeria that will be chaotic. And that is why we are very grateful to MOMAS for being an agent of change, trying to collect youth from the streets or wherever they are, equip them, guide them, train them, skill them, and then tool them, so that wherever they go back to wherever they are coming from, they become agents of the kind of change we want to see.
Then came the moment of reckoning.
He is a graduate of electrical electronics engineering from the Para State Polytechnic.
The very reason why this delegation from the United States Government Exchange alumni are here.
We present
the Walter Carrington Award for Empowerment to you today. Congratulations. 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 Thank you. Right. Can you help decorate? This is to make you officially a friend of the United States Government Exchange and Alumni Association. And to say, keep on with what you're doing. We appreciate you, and we'll keep working together in partnership. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you very much. On behalf of my very good self, I remain humble to the entire concept and doctrine of this association, Local Association of the United States, and on behalf of the entire family of MOMAS, I want to appreciate this noble gesture of this award. We will celebrate it for life, and it was a lot of fueling that's fueled our energy level to ensure that we will do more than you expected. We will ensure that we are committed and we will encourage the relationship as much as possible. I accepted this singular honor on behalf of the entire family of MOMAS and the entire family of good behaviors of Nigerians, that we will keep doing the best that will improvise or that will increase our visibility to the global community as a good nation. Thank you very much. By the time we go through this facility, we'll be able to see where all those coding, anybody that specializes in designing, coding, robotic design, artificial intelligence, this is the house for them. This is the house for them. Those collaboration towards productivity, towards a device that will be able to showcase at the end of every time defined by this relationship that this is what I'll be able to produce through this collaboration.
Appreciation and acceptance of this award is well taken, well noted. Going downstairs to floors beneath reveals its research and development R&D department, which was pretty much hands-on.
This is our This is our R&D department, and when you have any proof of concept, this is, can you show me, let me show you, what board is this? Okay. Okay, we're trying to do miniaturization. Rather than meter getting very big, we now say, okay, let's do a smart meter, a very small one that is portable, that you can hang it on the pole, and I mean, from your phone, you can now do all the control. So it's a new, we have done the prototype, it's working, we just keep improving on it. So this is the circuit, and he designed it. And everything here is our conceptualization and everything like that. And that's why it's easier for us to say, okay, even if we want to change the meter to look like Mr. Matt, we can do it. And you write all the code. Let me see all the codes that you do. This firmware. So you can see it's actually using scope to diagnose some of the circuits. So if there are some impedances in the design, the scope will be able to show him that there is a flicker. The flicker, he will be able to see it. And he wrote all the firmwares to the same thing. So the same thing applicable to any electronics.
Okay, the MICA is the machine interface control application for military defense projects. Now, for example, this is version 2 of that board. So this is being handled by one of our staff here in Nigeria. So we are testing the board design. Once this is done, we'll send this file to the IDAS lab. So we're going to have something like this board, which we can then populate, and then we can run tests using.
Now, this is part of the domestication of our problem. At the end of the day, the sensor will be able to discriminate between animal and human being. and send the report to command and control.
Okay.
Because once we put it in the boot, because if he sees animal, it raises alarm. If he sees bird, it raises alarm. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So, but who are we targeting? Are human beings. So once he sees human being, he will scan them, send it to Abuja from wherever it is mounted. And it raises alarm that they have seen human being, and he took the picture. He will take the picture and save it in himself, and equally transmit that picture to command and control. These are domestication of all our idea into addressing our peculiarity. That's part of what we came out. They are already using it. We are just improving on it. It's already being used, isn't it? All the guard book, we produce some guard book, which we are going to see, is already used, and they have already agreed that the guard book has to be spread across all our border, because the guard book is that you can stop any form of bullet to enter. You'll see the production. They can up to 12.5. That's big gun. Cannot enter the building, and it has a turret. The turret has a submachine gun. It has a surveillance that can see 2 kilometers or 5 kilometers ahead, so that it will tell you that there is a threat coming in. Now, on the head of the turret, now what we now improvise, I will now put a fork. That fork may ensure that once we don't want to shoot you, you can discharge like pepper spray or itching. We are
just
working on we are working on Mekuna Puris. Who knows Mekuna Puris? That's Jeripe. That can eat you. Yes. So if you have a gun and something is itching you, you drop the gun.
Impressed by the level of advancement, some, rightfully curious, seek to know more of this kind of high technology, nursing fears of a possibility it could get into unauthorized persons' hands. That view is quickly tackled.
Do you have any contingency plan now? If this thing gets into a wrong hand, can they operate it, or is it just?
You mean the meter?
Yes, you know.
In the first instance, except they don't want to do the job, all meter in the country, especially the one that comes from, are trackable.
Oh, okay, okay.
All meter are trackable. It's part of the legislation I'm trying to fight now. That look, meter can be used as a telephone. When you are going from one house, you can take the meter to another house.
Okay.
It's just that politics is because the disco want to maintain monopoly and they want you to keep spending. But I'm fighting that cause, that they need to change the rules. The rules, the design today, the logic behind metering is as good as your telephone. It can be owner specific. And when you are going, the credit there can be transferred to another disco, and they will do their exchange. So those are things we have perfected here in terms of technology development. We have it. It's just to believe in ourselves, because oftentimes we don't believe in our capability.
A display of the meters in different sizes is seen here, all on the heels of guided technology to precision. The discussions have come to a point where the helmsman has asked the government to license the metering company, just as it is in telecoms, insurance, banking and other sectors of the economy.
This is copper cladding. This is what we import. This copper cladding. When you finish the design, you can see this as the design here. From the design, it becomes green. This is what we are going to see. Then from the design, because all the components are selected by our design, you have defined the X and Y coordinate of each. The chips and everything, the capacitor are selected by us. And that's why it is easier for us, if we want to upscale the industrialization in Nigeria, we can produce all these components because we know the context. So it's easier for us. So, but because we are not prepared for it, let us start for this design and be able to do it before we upgrade ourselves into the higher rate. But once we start doing components, the whole world has to come here. That's what it means. So the capability is here, because the same adaptation of this to meter is what we use to robot. Anything electronic is the same principle. It's just for you to be able to know which chip you want to use, what kind of memory do you want, what kind of flip-flop do you want, how many transistors do you want in your memory, what kind of communication media do you want. Do you want just screen? Do you want it to be able to transport this information to a remote location where you now put the modem and every other thing? You'll be able to spot all those things, so you provide GPS. GPS into your design. These are things that we already know how to do very well. So it's easier for us to domesticate all this design to any kind of device, including aircraft panel and every other thing. These are what we are going to see as we are able to do it with some forces in the country today. So we train people here to ensure that, look, besides the fact that you have learned the X and Y or the euphoria analysis and so on and so forth in the classroom, does not make you a designer. So all those things you have learned in the classroom, come and see how it is being applied here. So those are things we train them, and we teach them ethics. Because what we are losing again in the system today is ethics, character. We have so many intelligent guys, but we don't have the right manner to showcase those intelligent levels. So we need to actually bring people back home and review our value back to normal, that we are known to be a respectable people, but we shouldn't be behaving like all what we are seeing today. And these are things we train. And we ensure that we censor our certification. We have a portal for them to ensure that we have a feedback, so that anybody who is behaving, we can actually withdraw our certification. Full of error, because it doesn't capture history. It doesn't capture history, it doesn't show the reflection of all various careers we are paying. That's why they impose all kinds of practices. So we design another building application. And now the level of our capability in terms of software development has scaled to energy auditing structure, that we can audit energy right from the grid to the last person, except they don't want to do the mistake. You know, it's a different thing for you to have it, but it's a different thing to deploy it and use it efficiently. And those are the human issues that is surrounding our inefficiency or inability to give everybody meter. I equally find it tough to convince the government that, look, if you look at those agencies and government institutions or establishments that is sustainable today are nonsense establishments. If you look at banking systems, it's a nonsense establishment. If you look at telecom, they are all nonsense. Insurance are nonsense. Nonsense us as a meter manufacturer. Let everybody be able to buy their meter. With that, it will be more competitive. We'll be able to now go on TV that my meter can speak Hausa and Yoruba. We want to tell you what the future of my own meter, so that everybody will come and buy my own. But because of the discourse, that rigidity that we want to be making money from consumers, those are things we need to break. And I'm fighting because they don't like it, but it's my call, and I will make sure that it's. But the consumer has the right to buy their meter when and they must be paid for. Those are now. You recall in our slide, I told you that the panel, you know, as we are saving consumers, we are even saving the industry. Because you oftentimes PSM people go and disconnect, they beat them up. And I say you don't need to do that, because right from the office of whoever that is managing the sector, you can disconnect and you can broadcast the reason why you are disconnecting them. That for one reason, maybe you are maintaining the area, or they are going in that area and there are a lot of tabs around that place that doesn't make them to collect their revenue. We are disconnected. Go and pay. So those are information. So with that, we designed a smart, intelligent substation that will upgrade the substation to look more friendly, have surveillance, as everything, and as breakable, intelligent breaker. Can you disconnect only of the breaker? It's just like we are disconnecting somebody from Maiduguri from your office now. You can see. So you have disconnected a whole street. That's what it is. And from the system, because they have your database, they have your phone number, you just receive an SMS that you have been disconnected in that area because you are doing maintenance or because you are not paying. So those are things we develop. So anybody who is into coding, you are welcome. We want to partner with you. We want to be able to write very high coding. And you know that a lot of cyber attack these days, and you need somebody who has that knowledge of how we can do super encoding and encryption process in which is going to protect all the time, both from firmware and from all kind of encryption that you have. So we welcome anybody who have idea, and if you have idea, come and train us on full-fledged cyber security. We are welcome. Come and train us.
So you talked about the way they make the meter paper before, for people to be able to read and see what is taking and line house these appliances, those are the ones that consume electricity, so that people can be aware of that.
Yes, yes, we are. In fact, we have a full-fledged documentation about household appliances, which one, in fact, the compliances of the house itself. Because there are some things that oftentimes you hope for your life, but you see paying bill.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So
You know what? It's because there was no pre-inspection on your house compliance. Because if your house is not branded, it's not high-tech, it is abnormal for you to touch any of the cable and you feel electricity. Neutral not supposed to have any charges. But if you want to test your house, just take a tester, put it on neutral. It means your house is not well wired.
This is where it all comes together. In the factory where it is assembled. Done with a tour of the factory, the delegation moves on to another segment where remotely controlled step-down transformers are manufactured.
Are we going back?
Change it and disconnect them remotely. Just like one. Bring the source and be changed to another source. So I think we were thinking progressive. Any form of new settlement. All the roof are supposed to be solar, not cascaded. We group them together and terminate them here. So as soon as there is public supply outage, this is what it is. But because those are the kind of scenery you're supposed to build our development, but because you are disconnected, rather than to see your strength as the basis of development, you start fighting it. That will change. Yes, we will.
We also use solar.
Maybe when you reach 40% or 50% capacity, then you now discount.
Yes. That's the beauty of God. Coming from the U.S. Embassy here in Nigeria, recognizing the chairman of the company for his efforts at empowering youth in the country. And it's an honor well deserved. So, and it will further spur us to continue to do what we're doing. So that is the beauty of this collaboration that we're trying to establish. And this relationship is going to go a long way in helping both the parties. We have been at the forefront trying to change the narrative to impact on the youth positively. And I will enjoin them to try to see the positive side of this country and not to look at the negative side, and to imbibe the kind of approach that MOMAS is adopting in trying to, change things in the country. So they should be positive about the country and believe in themselves and believe in the country.
We try to expose alumni, members to various opportunities. MOMAS happens to be one of the biggest indigenous downstream meter production companies in Nigeria, one of the biggest downstream power manufacturing companies in Nigeria. So how can we possibly link MOMAS with members of our organization who are into artificial intelligence, robotics, who are into power and energy, who are into metering and so on and so forth? We thought MOMAS is the best in this area. MOMAS has been, worthy of this collaboration, and that's why we're here. So we look forward to working with them now and in near future.
We never knew that such a facility exists in this country, and where all these things are being done, youths are wasting away their opportunities here, but nobody is actually investing in this. So that's why we are here, to seek collaboration with MOMAS so that our members can also benefit from it, and he in turn will also benefit from us because we share resources.
One thing is for sure, that this recognition by the United States government through its Alumni Association is one that is welcomed and sure to boost confidence in an economic segment that is single-handedly grown from grass to grace.